Today's episode brings headlines on vehicle electrification shifts, fresh spy glimpses of a Porsche electric Cayman, debate over touch controls from Volkswagen's leadership, a new Subaru EV SUV tease, and a major joint Sony-Honda EV project ending. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, a spy video has surfaced showing an electric version of the Porsche Cayman, offering another view into how an iconic sports coupe could transition to electrification. The images and footage suggest Porsche is actively prototyping a battery-powered Cayman, and while full technical details are not yet public, the visual cues point toward a design that aims to retain the Cayman's compact, driver-focused proportions. This spy material matters because it shows established sports car makers continuing to invest in electric drivetrains for halo models, balancing brand character with new powertrain realities. Looking beyond the camera frames, this prototype speaks to broader industry dynamics. For luxury and performance brands, the challenge is preserving dynamic personality, weight distribution, steering feel, and braking behavior, while integrating large battery packs and electric motors. Observers will be watching how Porsche manages packaging, cooling, and chassis tuning to keep the Cayman's handling reputation intact. There's also competitive context. An electric Cayman would enter a space that's seeing rapid new entries from niche EV specialists and established rivals converting popular nameplates to electric variants. Expectations will be high that Porsche will target engaging performance and a premium build, which could set benchmarks for what buyers expect from electric sports coupes in the near term. Moving on to user experience and in-car controls, Volkswagen's chief has weighed in with a blunt opinion. He doesn't like touch sliders. This comment underscores a growing conversation within vehicle design circles about how best to translate physical controls into digital interfaces. Touch sliders, which replace knobs and buttons with capacitive strips or screens, can offer a sleek, modern look and flexible functionality, but they also raise concerns about tactile feedback, ease of use while driving, and long-term reliability. The critique from a senior executive at such a large OEM signals potential changes in how automakers will approach interior ergonomics. If leadership pushes back on certain interface trends, we could see a renewed emphasis on hybrid control schemes that mix traditional tactile elements with digital displays, or stronger investment in haptics and voice controls to address safety and usability concerns. For consumers, this debate matters because interface decisions affect daily driving comfort and distraction levels. And for suppliers, it can mean a shift in demand away from certain electronic modules toward alternative technologies. Expect interior design teams across the industry to be re-evaluating the balance between aesthetics and driver-centered functionality as a result. Next, Subaru teased a new electric SUV in New York, signaling the brand's continuing move into the EV SUV segment. The short preview highlights Subaru's intent to carve out a space in the growing market for electrified crossovers, a segment that remains central to volume and margins for many manufacturers. While the teaser doesn't disclose full technical details, such as range or powertrain configuration, it confirms Subaru's strategy to bring electric options to its lineup and to leverage the SUV format that matches consumer demand. This tease is important because Subaru's customer base values durability, off-road capability, and a sense of rugged utility, attributes that present a particular engineering brief for an EV SUV. Electric platforms can support the brand's all-wheel drive heritage, but achieving familiar towing, payload, and terrain handling characteristics with an electric powertrain requires careful calibration of motor control, battery protection, and drivetrain software. The market reception of Subaru's EV SUV will depend on how convincingly the company can translate its brand values into the electric era, and whether buyers see the new model as a genuine Subaru rather than an electrified compromise. It also adds another contender to a crowded electric SUV market where differentiation will be critical. Shifting focus now to the broader picture in EV programs, Honda and Sony have announced discontinuation of two electric vehicles they had been developing together. The move underscores the complexity of joint ventures between technology and automotive companies when it comes to bringing EV products to market. Discontinuation of planned models can be disruptive, not only for the companies directly involved, but for suppliers, dealers, and potential customers who were anticipating those vehicles. The partners had positioned their collaboration as a fusion of automotive manufacturing know-how and cutting-edge consumer tech expertise, and ending specific models calls attention to the practical and strategic hurdles that such collaborations face. When two distinct corporate cultures and development processes intersect, questions arise over timelines, cost allocation, platform ownership, and ongoing product support. The decision to stop work on particular vehicles will likely prompt both companies to reassess their approaches to EV development, whether that means refocusing resources on other projects, changing partnership arrangements, or adjusting market strategies to reflect evolving demand and competitive pressures. For industry watchers, these program changes are a reminder that electrification is not just a technical shift, but a strategic one that will reshape alliances and product roadmaps. If you enjoy this episode, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news for you. Finally, the most prominent story of today. Sony and Honda have canceled the Afeela electric vehicle program. This announcement marks a significant development in the high-profile collaboration that sought to combine Sony's consumer electronics and software strengths with Honda's automotive engineering experience under the Afeela name. The cancellation of the Afeela EVs will reverberate across multiple layers of the industry, from supplier planning to investor expectations about the viability of new entrant strategies that rely on partnerships between tech and traditional car makers. The Afeela initiative had been watched closely as an experiment in redefining the car as a connected device, blending entertainment, advanced driver assistance, and novel human-machine interfaces with a mainstream electric vehicle platform. Ending the program raises immediate questions about what happens to the work already completed, engineering efforts, prototypes, and software development, and how the two partners will redeploy those assets. More broadly, this move could prompt other OEMs and tech companies to rethink how they structure collaborations, balance responsibilities, and set milestones to avoid similar outcomes. For consumers, the cancellation reduces near-term variety in the EV market, but it may also lead to sharper focus on other players that have more established production pathways. Policymakers and analysts will likely interpret this as a signal that the EV market's consolidation and realignment are ongoing, with only the most resilient and well-executed projects reaching sustained volume production. In wrapping up, today's stories show a mix of innovation and hard realities. Promising prototypes like the electric Cayman and new entries such as Subaru's EV SUV Tease reflect continuous development, while debates over interface design and the discontinuation or cancellation of EV programs remind us that the path to electrification is as much about product-market fit and corporate strategy as it is about batteries and motors. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.